Karen shot my service dog on my ranch. She had no idea I'm a sitting member of Congress. What would you do if a stranger trespassed on your land, shot your loyal service dog, and then tried to spin the story to make you the villain? That's exactly what happened to Congresswoman Elena Martinez on a blistering June afternoon in 2025 on her quiet Texas ranch. The confrontation that followed wasn't just about a beloved petite, it was a clash of entitlement, truth, and justice that would leave one woman's world in tatters. Elena Martinez, a rising star in Congress, had always kept her private life separate from her public persona. Her ranch, nestled in the rolling hills of West Texas, was her sanctuary where she retreated to recharge with her family and her service dog, Ranger, a German Shepherd trained to help manage her PTSD from her time as a combat veteran. Ranger wasn't just a pet, he was her lifeline, sensing her anxiety before it spiraled, grounding her in moments of overwhelm. That day, Elena was tending to her horses when she heard a gunshot echo across the property. Her heart stopped. She sprinted toward the sound, her boots kicking up dust, only to find Ranger lying motionless near the fence line, a crimson stain spreading across his fur. Standing over him was Karen Whitaker, a local real estate agent known for her loud opinions and louder social media presence. Karen held a sleek handgun, her face a mix of defiance and panic. "He was charging me," she shrieked, pointing at Ranger's still body. That beast was going to attack. Elena's knees buckled, but her military training kicked in, keeping her voice steady. "This is private property. Why are you here? And why did you shoot my dog?" Karen's story tumbled out in a rushed bin, scouting the land for a client, claiming the ranch was for sale. When Ranger approached, barking, she feared for her life and fired. Elena's eyes narrowed. Her ranch wasn't on the market. Karen was trespassing, armed, and had just killed her service dog. The truth began to unravel as Elena called the sheriff, her voice shaking with grief and fury. Karen, unaware of Elena's identity as a congresswoman, doubled down, spinning a tale of self-defense. She claimed Ranger was a wild animal, that Elena's ranch was abandoned, and that she had every right to protect herself. She was already on her phone, posting a frantic video on X, tearfully recounting how she'd been attacked by a feral dog on a deserted property. The post gained traction, painting Elena as a negligent owner and Karen as a victim. Comments poured in, some calling for Ranger's owner to be sued, others demanding justice for the poor woman who'd been forced to shoot. But Karen's narrative had cracks, and Elena was about to expose them. As the sheriff arrived, Elena's composure held, though her heart was breaking. She showed the deputy ranger's service vest, neatly folded in the barn, and the property records proving the ranch was hers. Karen's story faltered when the sheriff questioned her scouting claim. No client existed. A quick check of Karen's phone voluntarily handed over in a misguided attempt to seem cooperative revealed texts to a friend. "This land's prime. If I can spook the owner, it's a steal." Karen hadn't been scouting. She'd been scheming to pressure Elena into selling her ranch at a bargain, likely to flip it for profit. The self-defense story was a lie to cover her trespassing and reckless act. Then came the twist. A neighbor, old Mr. Jenkins, who'd been fixing a fence nearby, stepped forward. He'd seen everything. "That dog didn't charge," he said, his voice gravelly but firm. "Ranger was just barking, like any dog would when a stranger's on his turf. She didn't even hesitate, just pulled that gun and shot." Jenkins had recorded the aftermath on his phone, capturing Karen's smug demeanor before she realized Elena was calling the authorities. The video showed Ranger's body, still and lifeless, and Karen's voice in the background, muttering, "That'll teach 'em to keep their mutt in check." Elena's blood boiled, but Jenkins' footage was the nail in Karen's coffin. The confrontation escalated as Elena, now flanked by the sheriff and Jenkins, faced Karen head-on. You trespassed on my land, shot my service dog, and lied to ruin me, Elena said, her voice low but piercing. Did you think you could bully your way out of this? Karen's bravado crumbled. She stammered, trying to pivot back to her self-defense claim, but the sheriff wasn't buying it. The evidence was overwhelming. Jenkins' video, the texts, the property records. Karen's ex-post, now viral, was backfiring as users began questioning her story. Why was she on private land with a gun? One comment read. Sounds like she's hiding something, said another. Elena, still reeling from Ranger's loss, uploaded Jenkins' video to X herself, along with a statement, "This is my home. Ranger was my service dog killed by a trespasser. The truth matters." The post exploded, amassing thousands of shares and turning public opinion against Karen. Karen's world collapsed swiftly. The sheriff arrested her for trespassing, animal cruelty, and reckless discharge of a firearm. Her real estate license was suspended pending investigation as clients and colleagues distanced themselves from the scandal. Her X account, once a platform for her rants and self-promotion, became a battleground of backlash. Local news picked up the story, revealing Elena's identity as a congresswoman and veteran, which only amplified the public's outrage. Karen's attempt to play the victim had failed spectacularly, her lies exposed, her reputation in ruins. She issued a half-hearted apology on X, claiming she misunderstood the situation, but it was too late. The internet and the law had turned against her. Elena, meanwhile, grieved deeply. Ranger's loss left a void no justice could fill. At his memorial, she spoke to a small gathering of friends and neighbors, her voice breaking as she described how Ranger had saved her life countless times, not just by alerting her to PTSD episodes but by being her constant companion. Yet, in her pain, she found purpose. She channeled her grief into advocacy, pushing for stricter laws against animal cruelty and stronger protections for service dogs. Her story inspired thousands, with ex-users sharing tributes to Ranger and calling for justice. Elena's resilience shone through, a testament to her strength as a veteran and a leader. The fallout for Karen was a bitter pill. Once a loud, self-assured figure in her community, she was now a pariah, her name synonymous with cruelty and deceit. Elena's fight for justice didn't just hold Karen accountable, it sparked a broader conversation about entitlement, responsibility, and the consequences of reckless actions. As Elena stood by Ranger's grave, planting a small oak tree in his memory, she whispered, "You were my hero, boy. I'll keep fighting for you." What do you think? Did Karen's actions stem from arrogance, desperation, or something else entirely? Should Elena forgive her, or is justice enough? Share your thoughts on X and let's discuss what's right, what's wrong, and what we can learn from this tragedy.